Hello everybody and welcome back to Blaster Toad's Game Academy. Today we're back in our shooter game example and we're going to be working on setting up the gun, or at least the very basics of it, as we're going to do a more complex unit just down the line. Okay, so in our folders here, let's create a new one for weapons. There we go. And in here, we are going to create a blueprint class. So right-clicking, blueprint class, and then an actor. And we're going to do this class underscore weapon. Okay. Open that up, and yay, there we go. Now what we want to do is in our event graph, get rid of everything. And we are going to make some custom events. So we're going to right click, start typing in, add custom event, and we're going to call this one fire. Or let's rename that to firing. And we'll duplicate it and we'll call our second one stop firing. And there we go. Okay. Now, off here, we are going to do a line trace. So what I like to do with my weapons is give the end of the muzzle a point for the bullet, the line trace, the whatever to leave. So right now, our gun is this nice little circle. So we're going to just add a little bit of a body to it. So we're going to add a cube. And we're just going to scale that. So I'm hitting R to get the scale widget. I'm going to scale that down to there. Okay, and then I'm going to add another component. I'm going to add an arrow. Okay, so arrows do not show up in-game. And that's the cool bit with arrows. So once we've got our arrow selected out here, we're going to hit W for translate, and we're going to move it to the end of our gun. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and I'm going to rename my arrow to emitter. And this is just, sorry, that's 1M, 2 R's, I believe. Emitter, whatever. We'll go back to the first way I spelled it. But anywho, that's how I like to set it up, so that you can always set from the tip of the muzzle. Or from the tip of the gun. So when we start firing, we are going to now get our emitter. We're going to get world location. And we're going to get forward vector. Okay. So what this is doing is gets its current position and gets its forward value. Off our forward value, we are going to multiply that by a float. And for the sake of our test, let's say 10 meters. So 10, 0, 0. And then I'm going to right click and promote to variable. And we're going to call this range. And there we go. Now, off of firing, we're going to pull in and we're going to do a line trace. That's what we want to do. Line trace by channel, yes. That's what I want, a line trace by channel. And our start position is going to be the emitter's world location. And our ending position is going to be the world location plus, so vector plus vector, our forward direction times our range. So just a little bit of math there, but it makes everything work out nice in the end. And there we go, just clean that up a little bit. There we are. Okay, and then we're going to set this for duration, just so that we can test it out. And then what do we want it to do? We want it to do nothing at this point. This is just testing. So we're going to compile and save. Okay, the stop firing we're going to use in a future tutorial, but we've got it all set up here, so that's great. But in a future tutorial we're going to use it for something a little different as we make this weapon more complex. Okay, so now we're going to go to our player, and we are going to add a component, and we want to make this a child actor. And there we go. And the child actor we are going to set as, where is our... Do I have to compile that first? There we go, child actor class, right here. We're going to set as our class weapon. Just that way we can set it up. Something like that. Okay, so now if we play, why don't we see it? We should be seeing that. If we put it like there. Oh, right. Because I didn't save my template here, my map. So, what I have to do is compile and save our character now. Pull him out here. And set to possess. Because I didn't save that test map I did the other day. There we go. And now we've got a gun. Whoa! Okay, it doesn't like being colliding like that, so we're just gonna pull that outside there. There we go. So now our weapon is just in front of us. Perfect. Okay. So now, back in our class character, we're going to go over to weapon handling. So we have some action inputs we made the other day. So again, that is under edit here, project settings, input. Now we have fire primary, jump, crouch, sprint, all that fun stuff there. So what we're going to do is under weapon handling, we're going to do something on fire primary. So fire primary. Perfect. And this child actor, we're going to call it current weapon. And there we go. And on pressed, we are going to get current weapon. We're going to cast. Oh, then we want to get actor. Okay, so we get the child actor by pulling here. Then we get child actor. Then we cast to class weapon. Child actors are interesting to work with. They aren't the most intuitive thing. Nope, I didn't want to do that. Okay. And then we're going to straighten this up. So if our child actor is of class weapon, we're gonna do something. And I'm going to change up the music, as this static stuff in my ears just isn't doing it for me. There we go, now we got some soft strumming guitar in the background. Okay, and then when we fire, we want to trigger firing. Okay, and this is going to be talking to our child blueprint there. So compile and save. And play. So now, if we click, we can see it draws a line on the ground from the emitter of our gun to wherever we fire. Look at that beauty. Okay. Perfect. So that is our weapon firing. Let's start setting up our damage. So we're going to branch off of here. Okay. So this return value is a yes or no whether or not the trace hit something. Okay. So if it hits something, we're going to do stuff. And then on our out hit here, we're going to pull that down and hit break. Okay, just like that. Okay, so let's see. So we want to get the hit actor. And then we are going to... We're going to set up something different. So I was just going to do regular blueprint communications with you guys in this set of tutorials. But I guess we're going to do an interface as well now. Are we going to do an interface? No, we're not going to do an interface. We're going to keep this one simple. So hit actor, we are going to cast to class player character. So if we hit something, we're going to cast a class player character. And then we're going to apply damage or point damage, either or. We're just going to go for the applied damage because it is nice and simple. The damage actor will be that. And then, so this is just, the reason we're using the cast here isn't to actually talk to the player character. This is just saving us from doing a get class and then equals player character. Okay, that's the only thing this is. Like, we could do this and do another branch, or we can cast to it. Either or, okay? So I'm going to cast to it this time, just because it makes our blueprint a little nicer. Off damage causer here, we're going to select self. So get reference to self. And our base damage, let's put it 10. And we are going to then promote this to a variable and call it damage. And there we go. Now if we go over to our character, under weapon, let's do another graph. So we're going to do new graph here and call this damage. Then on receive, well, let's just type in damage. It'll event any damage. That's what I want. Event any damage. we are going to make a new variable here. Health. I'm going to set that to a float. So on any damage, we are going to get health. We are going to minus the damage. And then we're going to set health. Okay, you see how that works? And just clean that up. So very, very basic weapon we're doing here, okay? And then we're going to print string to show how much health is still left. And now we should be able to test this by dropping another character off in our world. Okay, so if we look around and we see, oh, that guy's got a gun. Pew. Pew, pew, pew. Come on. It isn't working when we hit his gun, so what we need to do is not hit the child actor, but hit the actor itself. What we're going to do is give him a body, okay? So usually you'd be doing a skeletal mesh, putting your player's actual body on there with the skeleton and animation and everything. Today we're just going to do a cube. And then we're going to click our cube out here, hit R to scale, and just fit it inside his bounds. There we go. And then the cube, we want to disable overlap events. Generate overlap events to off. And we'll make it a little smaller. And there we go. Compile and save. And then while we're in here, we'll go over to movement. And we're going to take out the... or just bypass the stamina typing. So where it was listing our stamina in the corner. So we won't see the stamina anymore. We shouldn't see the stamina anymore. Why, oh why, are you still printing stamina? Ah, because we did it over here. So we'll just delete that. What was this? Oh, this was showing our reduction in stamina when we were running. Right. Just gonna clean that up because we're getting rid of those. So now we've got nothing in the corner, and when we fire at this guy, boom, -10, and that is because our health was set to 0. So if we set our health to 100, so now we're reducing his health from 100, and we're now doing negative. Perfect. If we hit his weapon, though, nothing happens. I thought child doctor would be covered with the main. Anywho, yeah, that's our basic weapon and our basic damage. Very basic damage. And the next tutorial, we're going to be making a UI to be able to see our stamina. And we'll probably also at that point do ammunition. We'll do stamina, ammunition, and health. So since I'm making those promises now, I am just going to make a note for myself to include all those in the next tutorial. So let's take a brief look over again what we did. So we took our character and we added a weapon to him. In our weapon, we have an emitter, which we can place at the end of whatever model we put in here, so that'll always be the tip of the muzzle. Then, when we get a command to fire, we get the location of the emitter and its forward direction. We draw a line with that information, and if that line hits another character, we do damage. Okay. Then, on our player, we set up a child actor. Okay, so current weapon here. We then get the child actor, make sure it's a weapon and tell it to fire when we click. And if we receive damage, we just deduct health. Okay, very, very simple system here. We're going to get rid of that print string as well. Okay, so that's that for today. Actually, what we're going to do here is while we're here, we are going to clamp this value. Minimum and maximum 100. And there we go. Okay, so that way we aren't getting into the negative numbers when we're firing at them. So that's that for our weapons and health. Remember to compile and save everything, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Thanks again for watching.